Welcome to Behind the Scenes at Slow Wine Fair 2023 in Bologna. Stevie and the podcast crew interview a variety of Italian exhibitors who attended the fair and took the opportunity to chat with many of the benchmark producers selected for our new book, Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0. Check out the big buffet of guests and get ready to be hungry and thirsty as exhibitors and producers talk about their signature products and give us top tips for food, wine, and fun in their regions.
Here we are again with another fantastic producer from... Yeah, where are you from?
I'm from CHIARLI winery, and my name is TOMMASO. I'm part of the family, the CHIARLI family. I'm the fifth generation in the winemaking company.
Fantastic. So we are actually, we brought you here as well because we have you as one of our benchmark producers in the Italian Wine Unplugged book 2.0, which is our second edition. It's for all wine lovers, but we have a lot of students that are very interested in learning more about different grapes, different vine, different wines. Your winery produces a Lambrusco di Sorbara and a Grappa Rossa.
Grappa Rossa variety, exactly. These are two varieties from Lambrusco world. They're two specific clones, and they grow in different areas in the province of Modena. And in our winery, we produce both of these varietals.
Where is exactly your winery?
The CHIARLI winery is located in Castelvetro di Modena, which is a small village in the south part of the province of Modena, so between Modena and Bologna. CHIARLI Tenute Agricole, that's the exact name of the winery, was born in 2001, but the CHIARLI family has been producing Lambrusco since 1860. Therefore we represent the oldest winery in Emilia-Romagna, the entire region. So it's a very historical company, winemaking family since 5 generations.
So you are the son, grandson?
We go back 5 generations.
So you are the youngest?
Yeah. So we call it Trisnonno. So.
Trisnonno, okay, wow. It's the romantic part of the Italian culture, like the wine culture. It's like you have all these generations. So actually, let's talk about your wines outside of Italy. Do you guys, how many labels do you make? So
the CHIARLI winery works from only with 100% of our grapes, and we reached a production last year, a record production of just a little below 1 million bottles. We have been growing a lot since 2001 in this specific production. We export roughly 40% of the total production. USA, of course, is the biggest market for us. The Scandinavian countries are also embracing this new type of Lambrusco, which is not new. It is the traditional Lambrusco.
Of course. And how many labels in total?
Labels in total, we have in the core range around 7. So it is not a massive
So it's
range.
just, but it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
But you have to think about the Lambrusco world. Lambrusco world is characterized by different varietals, different clones that are extremely different from each other. So from each clone, you can scatter different styles. Okay,
so now you're getting into the science stuff. I want to know, if I was a student of Italian wine and I wanted to go a little bit deeper, and I wanted to learn about Lambrusco di Sorbara and Grappa Rossa. Tell me something a student would want to know that's interesting, that's useful.
So Lambrusco varietals in general, one of the most autochthonous. It's been produced in this area for a long time, Roman times, Etruscan times. Specifically, the Lambrusco di Sorbara varietal, I would like to put a focus on that. It's a very interesting grape for many reasons. Firstly, it is extremely wild. It has some difficulties in pollination. Therefore, you need another varietal to kind of cross-pollinate the Lambrusco di Sorbara. The Salamino varietal, another Lambrusco varietal. The shape of the grape bunch is quite funny. So you got, of course, 10-15% of the berries that do not ripe in the season. So they remain white within the red grape bunch. So it's quite a funny type of grape bunch. And because of these very ancient, archaic characteristics, the wine is extremely unusual and new. It is a red wine that has the body of a white wine, especially a white one from, let's say, higher altitudes, despite the fact that it grows in a very low land, humid, so not like that. You've got a lot of acidity in this type of wine, and so for wine students, it is quite a unique grape variety.
And so, with that, I'm going to ask you something totally different that ties in. What's your favorite food?
My favorite food?
Your favorite food on the planet?
I like pizza.
Oh, okay.
Basic but nice.
It is very good. What kind of pizza?
Pizza with the spicy salami.
Oh wow, okay. Like
From
this.
Calabria.
Yes, okay. Does it pair with Lambrusco di Sorbara, yours?
Not with Lambrusco di Sorbara, but with the Graspa Rossa.
It does.
The deeper red Lambruscos are interesting because they've got this bold body, they've got tannins, they've got acidity, they are sparkling, and all of the balance of all of these characteristics is extremely nice with anything savory, most of the time fat, with fat food, but also spicy food. Spicy food is hard to pair with wine, and Lambrusco wines are also pairable with spicy food.
Thank you so much. It was really lovely
Thank you very much.
meet you.
Nice meeting you. Thank you very much.
TOMMASO CHIARLI from the CHIARLI winery, everybody.
Perfect. Bye-bye.
We are at Slow Wine and we are in Bologna, and I'm talking to KRISTIAN KEBER.
Right?
Okay, from the KEBER winery. We got you here because you are one of the benchmark producers mentioned in this new edition of Italian Wine Unplugged. It's 2.0, and we have you your ribolla gialla, so the grapes. So we want to talk about that later, but first I want to hear about you. Who are you, and where is your winery?
The winery is between Collio and Berda, then between two states, Italy and Slovenia.
Okay.
That I am exactly on the border. I am double citizen, and I have two wineries. I have two wineries not because I bought some vineyard there in Slovenia or Italy, but because I had from the grandfathers. One grandfather is Slovenian, one is Italian.
Speaking of history, tell me about the winery. Like, tell me.
The winery, it's a very old winery. We start with wine growing, but not just wine growing, because it was a classic farm with animals, with fruit trees, and this. My grandfather started to make the first labels after the Second World War. My father made the winery more famous, especially in Italy. We've been growing two wines till 10 years ago. That was Collio and one monovarietal with Tokai. And now basically we produce just one wine.
Okay.
And this is a blend of these mentioned varieties. That was Ribolla, Malvasia, but also Tokai Friulano.
Okay.
That is not a pure varietal wine, but a blend of these wines.
And you export some of it, or?
Yeah, I export, but the major market for us it's Italy. My idea is selling closer home it's possible.
Okay.
Because I really look on nature. I am biodynamic producer, but this is also this is what I grow and this, but also selling it for me is important. That to don't bring this wine too much far away. That is a strange idea for one thing, but the other thing is that if you drink a water, why you have to drink an Italian water if you are from Graz?
Right. No.
You have the water. No?
Exactly.
And also in wine, I think that it's better that we come back with some more a natural approach on this. And for this reason, I prefer to sell my wines Friuli, then Italy, and then Europe, and then biodynamic. I start when I finish school. I classically biodynamic that I use just copper and copper, and I help with some nettle and the preparates 500, 501.
Oh, really? Love it. I love it.
But my idea is just very basic, going to old times. It's more permacultural concept. That means not just wine, but now in the vineyard I have also animals that eat my grass and make the compost.
Yeah.
I plant more fruit trees, like was the tradition in our place. The vineyard is also a garden with vegetables.
Yeah, I love it.
And that something like I always thought nothing special. 100 years ago, my grandfather was making the same.
So tell me a little bit about the foods, because you said that you are half in Slovenia and half in Italy.
When you are in a place, for this reason, I don't think that I'm really or just Italian or just Slovenian, because when you are living in a place, you eat and you are the place where you are.
Yes.
The nationality is something that usually comes outside you. It's not the local part.
Right.
Basically, it's our fruit from Collio and Berda area that in this time you can eat something because it's colder time. You can eat a chiota, like iota.
What's that?
It's like a soup of that a lot of times you put also the sausage inside that is a little bit stronger with the wrap and this, and with the beans It's a strong.
Yeah.
But you can also a classic orzotto with vegetables.
Okay.
That is very good also with the Collio wine.
And that goes with the ribolla gialla.
Yeah, it's also good for ribolla. Ribolla depends how the producer also make a ribolla gialla. For my opinion, ribolla gialla is a great variety with the maceration because ribolla has a lot on the skins.
Yes.
With my opinion, not making a maceration on ribolla is like you have a Nebbiolo and you make on white.
Yes.
It has no sense.
Yes.
Everything is on that skin, the tannins, the complexity, everything is on this. And for my opinion, this is the way, the classic way that was made, and a good way, a natural way to work with this variety.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for coming to speak to me, and I wish you all the best in the rest of this festival.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ciao ciao.
Okay, so here we are at the Slow Wine Festival, and I'm here with the lovely Giuseppe Speri from the SPERI winery, and you are the enologist.
Enologist,
right?
yes,
Okay.
winemaker.
Actually, we're talking today specifically, I wanted to dive a little bit deeper about your Corvina and Corvinone, because you guys are a benchmark producer mentioned in our book, Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but can you tell me a little bit about you?
I am Speri Giuseppe, the enologist. I'm graduated in viticultura enologia, and yes, I work inside the company and I follow the production. As I said, together with my father, in last 10 years was really very important because I mixed the theory that I improve, of course, at university, together with the practice daily with my father. That was not easy, but at the same time wonderful to understand everything that he learned from his father. About the company, yes, we are an historical, as you understand, a family reality in Valpolicella. And yes, we produce very classical wines from the region, and in total only 5 wines that are the Valpolicella Classico, Valpolicella Ripasso, Valpolicella Superiore, Amarone and Recioto.
How many bottles a year do you
From the 60 hectares we reach the equilibrium at 400,000 bottles, 450,000.
You export some of it as well?
Of course, we sell together with the shop 25% to Italy and 75% to foreign countries.
Like US, Japan?
Yes, we are present in 60 countries in the world.
If I was a student and I wanted to be knowing something a little bit deeper about Corvina, Corvinone, what would you tell me? Like, how would you teach me about it that's a little bit more?
First of all, these are the 2 most important grape varieties of our wine region, Valpolicella.
Right. Yeah.
They made the most important part of the blend of our entire wines,
Yes.
not only Valpolicella, also Amarone and Recioto. For sure, in the case of Amarone, they give their best with the appassimento, with the drying process. They are perfect for drying because they have a very big skin, especially with the micro weather that we have in Valpolicella Classica, where we have an egg temperature variation from the day to the night, especially in the month of August and September. About the growing of these grape varieties is a late grape variety. It starts the green season in May, not before. About the wine, as I said, really very important because it made the most important part of the blend. Corvinone, as the name say in Italian, the final words one means a bigger, is the bigger version of Corvina.
Ah, okay.
So the bubble is very big compared to the one of Corvina.
Okay.
So they works different in the wine. Corvina works more on the structure, Corvinone more on the quantity.
Right.
But both are really interesting on the stamp that they give in the flavors.
So you use that for your Valpolicella and your Amarone?
Yes.
And so, like, what are the percentages?
In my wines, we use it for 70% of both.
Okay.
Yes. And for example, in the case of Policella, the blend ends with 20% Rondinella and 10% Molinara.
Actually, I want to bring this also because we're at Slow Food, Slow Wine in Verona.
Yes.
Okay. There are so many dishes that I've tried, like with Amarone sauce. It's so, oh my God, it's so good. I'm like salivating thinking about it. Like meats with this like beautiful sauce. What is your favorite food to eat, or either to make with Amarone or to drink Amarone with your food? What do you like?
If I need to choose one.
Two, whatever.
Yes. We say the two. The most famous one probably here in Verona is the risotto all'Amarone, the Amarone
I
rice.
about that one. That's good too. Oh boy. Okay.
You know Bottega del Vino?
Yes, of
They
course.
made a wonderful beef cheek with an Amarone sauce.
Really? I've got to try that. Okay. I
That
appreciate
is
it. Oh my God.
really nice.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming to talk to me. I love it. It was so much fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you to you. My pleasure.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
day.
Thank you.
Ciao. And we are here with Riccardo Baldi of the La Staffa Winery. And we have brought you here to talk about your wines, but we also have this new book, Italian Wine Unplugged. You are one of the benchmark producers mentioned in the book because you produce Verdicchio.
Verdicchio in the area of Castelli di Jesi.
Exactly. Verdicchio e Castelli di Jesi.
Yeah.
But can you, I want to ask you, who you are and about your winery, but can you first tell me the difference between the Verdicchio Castelli di Jesi and the Matelica?
Normally, I think there are three important differences between Jesi and Matelica. The first one is the climate. Matelica is inside two chains of mountains. It's a completely continental climate. And the area of Castelli di Jesi is very close to the seaside, even if we are in a hilly area. But we feel the influence of the sea.
Where in Italy is your...
Central part of Italy, so in Le Marche area, opposite side from Tuscany.
Okay.
Second, the soil. In the area of Matelica, we have a little bit more poor soil because it's a valley inside the two chain of mountains, so we have more rocky because of during the century all the weather put down to the valley the rocks from the top of the mountains. In the area of Castelli di Jesi, we have more powerful soil. So normally Verdicchio from Jesi are a little bit more full body, and Verdicchio from Matelica are a little bit more skin and fresh. And the last one is that the area of Castelli di Jesi is very spread out. It's very big. The area of Matelica is very little, so normally it's very difficult to compare Verdicchio di Jesi and Matelica because in Jesi it's important to choose the correct one to pair with Matelica one, because in the area of Matelica we have more linear style in the denomination. In the area of Jesi we have plenty of different style, but not only for the winemaker, but for the microclimate and the soil composition.
Your winery, give me a bit of an idea.
My winery is a little artisanal winery. I started to make wine when I was 20 in 2010, so 12, 13 years ago. My father made wine like his hobby in the past. I felt in love with the idea to make my own wine when I finished the high school, so I started with very few knowledge, with only a lot of passion about the winemaking. For sure, I started in one of the most important places of the denomination. Staffolo is a little place with only 2,000 people that live in Staffolo, but with 20 companies that makes Verdicchio. So it's like Burgundy, everyone makes wine. The most important characteristic of the soil in Staffolo is to have a lot of calcium carbonate in the clay limestone soil. So the wine in Staffolo are really fresh, but really citric and with a lot of saltiness because of this particular soil composition. I start in 2010 with only a couple of hectares of vineyard. Then I every year increase a little bit the production. Now I have 12 hectares of Verdicchio grape. We have vineyard between 1972 and 2010. So a lot of vineyard from the 70s, the 80s and the beginning of the 90s. And in my opinion, this is very important to make very high level quality wine because, 30, 40 years old, 50 years old, vineyard makes wine like no other one.
And how much do you produce a year? How many bottles?
Normally between 45 and 55,000 bottles a year. It depends a lot about in 12 hectares is a very low number.
Still, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And are you exporting yet or not yet, or how?
Yeah, we sell 50-55% of our wine outside from Italy. A third of the entire production go to the US, a third in Italy, and a third in Le Marche region, in my region.
Slow food and slow wine, they talk a lot about giusto, pulito.
Buono, pulito, giusto.
That one. How does that go with your winery?
Yeah, we work since the beginning in organic. At the beginning was the first step I moved when I started the company, because in my opinion it's very important for the environment and for myself, because at the beginning I was alone to work with the cell. Then after a few years I understand that the changing the way we work in the vineyard change a lot the quality of the wine, increase a lot the quality of the wine. In my opinion, buono, pulito, giusto is important for the environment and important, in my opinion, also for the tradition. So we made Verdicchio in a very traditional way, in the way to make a wine that belongs a lot to the terroir and to the tradition of the area. So a Verdicchio, in my opinion, that tastes a lot like the terroir where
it's being made.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
You are very welcome.
Really lovely talking to you. Riccardo Baldi, everybody. La Staffa.
Thank you.